This right here, this reminds me of assembly in grade school. And assembly was the only part of school I ever liked.
Once you leave school, you don't get to have assembly. This is the closest we get in adult life to assembly.
'Cause look at you all. You're just sitting there in chairs looking at us with absolutely no expertise. And we're going to talk for a while.
Although, this is different than assembly because you knew this was coming.
Assembly you never knew was coming when you were a kid. You just showed up at 8 a.m. and they were like,
Put down your stuff. Go to the gym.
You're like,
God, I guess they're finally gonna kill us all. All right, this is younger than I thought I would be, but we are pretty terrible people.
you get to the gym and the whole school is sitting on the floor. You're like,
What are we about to graduate from Tuesday?
my principal would always come out to kick things off. She'd be like,
children, rather than continue to teach you how to read, we have cleared the entire day for this random guy.
I used to smoke crack. As you 7 and 8-year-olds probably know, smoking drugs is the greatest feeling known to man. But I'm here to tell you there's hope. I've been sober now 2 weeks. Well, weekdays, not weekends. That's Nunzio's time.
I was once in assembly listening to a guy talk about smoking crack. My social studies teacher yelled at me.
sit up straight, show some respect.
I was like,
He's smoking cocaine.
sit up straight?
He's standing on a 45-degree angle, or as junkies call it, first position.
I always got yelled at assembly.
That's right, there was always assembly and then like that second assembly to yell at you for how you behaved at the first assembly.
They'd be like,
Get in here, sit down. I want to talk about what happened yesterday.
You're like 8 years old.
what's yesterday?
We invite a woman here with homemade puppets to teach you about bullying through skits, and you laugh at this woman? We noticed you all had been bullying each other and making fun of everything constantly.
So we invite a woman with straight gray hair in a denim dress with a wrist cast and homemade puppets that all have the same voice to teach you about bullying through skits, and you, ha ha ha, laugh it up?
What was so funny about that woman? I want to know.
What was so funny when she couldn't fit the box of puppets back into the trunk of her Dodge Neon?
What was so hilarious that you all ran to the windows?
Well, you all missed a valuable lesson on the danger of cliques.
What's a clique?
It's when a group of people hang out together.
Oh, you mean like having friends?
No, because these people make fun of other people.
Oh, you mean like having friends?
The greatest assembly of them all, once a year.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, the hottest ticket in town.
The Bruno Mars of assemblies.
You're gathered together as a school, and you are told never to talk to an adult that you don't know.
And you are told this by an adult that you don't know.
We had the same stranger danger speaker every year when we were kids. His name was
Detective
J.J. Bittenbinder.
Go ahead and laugh.
His name is ridiculous.
That was his name.
It was J.J. Bittenbinder.
He was from the Chicago Police Department. He was a child homicide expert and...
Oh, gee, very sorry. Did that make you uncomfortable? Well, guess what?
You're adults. And he's not even here.
So try being 7 years old, and you're sitting 5 feet away from him.
He's still got blood on his shoes.
And he's looking you in the eye to tell you for the first time in your very young life that some adults find you incredibly attractive.
And they may just have to kill you over it.
Okay, say la vie. Go be kids. Go have fun.
Bittenbinder came every year.
By the way, Detective J.J. Bittenbinder wore
Three-piece suits. He also wore a pocket watch.
2 years in a row, he wore a cowboy hat.
He also had a huge handlebar mustache.
None of that matters, but it's important to me that you know that.
He did not look like his job description.
He looked like he should be the conductor on a locomotive powered by confetti.
But instead, he made his living in murder.
He was the weirdest person I ever saw in my entire life.
He was a man most acquainted with misery. He could look at a child and guess the price of their coffin.
So Bittenbinder came every year with a program to teach us about the violent world waiting for us outside the school gym. And that program was called
Street Smarts. Time for Street Smarts with Detective J.J. Bittenbinder. Shut up, y'all gonna die. Street Smarts.
That was the general tone. He would give us tips to deal with crime.
We will share some of the tips with you today.
Okay, tip number 1.
Street Smarts. Let's say a guy pulls a knife on you to mug you.
You remember the scourge of muggings when you were in 2nd and 3rd grade.
You know how a mugger thinks.
Man, I need cash for drugs right now. Hey, maybe that 8-year-old with the Aladdin wallet filled with only blank laminate pages would be able to help.
Let's say a guy pulls a knife on you to mug you. What are you gonna do? You go fumbling for your wallet, and you go fumbling for your wallet. Well, in that split second, that's when he's gonna stab you.
So here's what you do.
You kids go get yourself a money clip, okay? You can get these at any haberdashery. You put a $50 bill in the money clip, and then when a guy flashes a blade, you go,
You want my money? Go get it.
Then you run in the other direction.
And our teachers were like,
Write that down.
we're like,
Buy a money clip. Engraved? Question mark?
you go home to your parents.
Hey, Dad, can I have a silver money clip with a $50 bill in it, please? Don't worry, I'm only going to chuck it into the gutter and run away at the first sign of trouble. The man with the mustache told me to do it.
Tip number 2,
Street smarts.
Let's say a kidnapper throws you in the back of a trunk.
This was at 9 in the morning.
Let's say a kidnapper throws you in the back of a trunk.
Don't panic.
Once you get your bearings, find the carpet that covers the taillight. Peel back the carpet, make a fist, punch the taillight out the back of the car, thus creating a hole in the automobile. Then stick your little hand out and wave to oncoming motorists to let them know that something hanky's going on.
Can you imagine driving behind that?
I think they're turning left.
Tip number 3,
Street smarts.
You kids have no upper body strength.
and we were like,
We know, but hey!
If some guy tries to grab you, you can't fight him with fists, so here's what you do. You kids fall down on your back, and you kick upwards at him. That'll throw him off his rhythm.
That was a big thing with Bittenbinder. Throwing pedophiles off their rhythm.
He's not gonna know how to fight back with 2 little sneakers coming at him.
if the Lindbergh baby had steel-toed boots, he'd still be alive today.
Street smarts. Yeah, he was not a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down kind of guy. He was more like,
Brush your teeth.
Now boom, orange juice.
that's life.
Bittenbinder,
He didn't want us to not get kidnapped.
he wanted us to almost get kidnapped.
And then fight the guy off using weird,
Psych out backroom Chicago violence.
like, here's what he wanted to see on the news.
We're here with 7-year-old John Mulaney, who fended off a kidnapper earlier today. How did you do it, John?
Well, thank you for asking. I used the Bittenbinder method. When I saw the perp approaching, I chewed up a tab of Alka-Seltzer I carry with me at all times. This creating a foaming at the mouth appearance that made it look like I had rabies. Now I've thrown him off his rhythm. Then I reach into his jacket pocket where I had planted a gram of coke, and I went, whoa, what the hell is this? And he goes,
That's not mine. I never seen that before.
and I go, boo-hoo, it's in your jacket. You're doing 2 to 10, and now your kids are going into social services. Now he's crying. Then I grab a telephone book and I beat him on the torso with it. Because as any Chicago cop will tell ya,
A phone book doesn't leave bruises.
Well, that was 7-year-old John Mulaney, currently being sued for police brutality.
Bittenbinder told me things that haunt me to this day. He came one year for assembly. He goes,
Okay, when you get kidnapped.
not if, when.
Okay, so when you get kidnapped. The place where the guy grabs you, in the biz, we call that the primary location. Yeah, okay? Your odds of coming back alive from the primary location, about 60%. But if you are taking to a secondary location, your odds of coming back alive are slim to none.
I am 35 years old and I am still terrified of secondary locations. If I'm at a place, I never want to go to another place.
I'll be at a wedding reception and someone will be like,
You come to the hotel bar after, we're all gonna go get drinks and keep the party going.
I'll be like,
Nah, sister, you're not getting me to no secondary location.
You want it? Go get it. Street smarts. Stay alert out there.
I thought I was going to be murdered my entire childhood. In high school, people were like,
What are your top 3 colleges?
I was like,
Top 3 colleges? I thought I would be dead in a trunk with my hand hanging out of the taillight by now.